Let's get where was it? Yeah, yeah, let's get that. Right, right. Like it. Technical difficulties. Continuation. Let's carry on. Jump. Second Ezra 6 and the 20. And when the word that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then we will shew these tokens. The book before shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be laid out. And suddenly shall the son. Is this the one that has the one where menstrual women shall bring forth monsters? Is that in here? Oh, I thought it was here. Because I was just thinking about that. But that's another one. Menstrual women shall bring forth monsters. Oh yeah, okay, let's read that real quick because that just came to my mind. You know, I was thinking. I thought it was there as well. I thought it was there gonna say it. This is in Ezra 5:18. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beast shall change their places.
That's another thing that's been happening recently as well. You know, all these sightings of leopards and panthers and stuff in the wild now. You know, they're being more and more sighted, clear pictures. You know, even we see foxes a lot now. You know, they're meant to be in a forest somewhere. You know, digging. But they're digging your bin. You know, just the other day I was coming home from work, man. They were just two dead foxes in the middle of the road. They're just wandering, traveling roads they should not have been on. Quite literally.
Yeah, it's mad. So as well, like, or you look at the animals, man. Look, a lot of things are changing, man. A lot of behavioral patterns are changing because the world is out of balance. It's out of sync. And it's changed up everything. Got a bad, wicked vibration, man. But that's all part. That it had to be like that to bring the end together, right? Because it has to be chaos, and in order to bring the order that's to come, the beauty of the order which is to come. Pythons and all that in random places. Like even in America, they got a lot of invasive species, and that's a big problem right now throughout many places in the world. Invasive species that are being brought into new habitats and just decimating the ecology of the. Yep. That happened in Florida. I think in Florida there's the fish. There's a lot of invasive fish species they're brought in, decimating, and then pythons. I think the pythons are eating everything because they just come in and they got no natural predators and they're just munching up everything, alligators, everything. They're just yamming. Because they're not supposed to be there technically. That's not their habitat naturally, but they're being moved around and brought places so guys want pets and shit. I think in Venezuela you got hippos because of what's that cartel boss? No, Colombia. What's the one from Colombia? The cartel don. Not El Pacho, the one before El Pacho. Oh, what's his name? That cartel don from Colombia, man. The fucking what's his name, man? And they had a Netflix program about him. Yeah, Narcos is about him, I believe. It's his name again. So I forgot, man. I forgot what his name is. But yeah, not El Chapo. That's the Mexican dog. The Sinaloa, innit? Oh man, what's his name? Fucking, how can you not know his name?
I probably do know
no,
his
not
name.
You. I mean, as in, how can I don't remember? It's like one of the most famous drug cartel bosses ever in history, man. And now just his name is just got. But yeah, he brought hippos as pets over to Venezuela, and then so they released them, and then now they're just like invasive.
Mike Tyson had a tiger, That's kind of shit. But yeah, migrations are happening, man, because he saw fucking the habitat up, man. Another thing to do with research, you know, Or the Most High using Esau to mess up these animals' habitats, man. Or the oceans and the seas are getting polluted,
Yeah, a lot of
making
dead, yeah.
warming up and all this type of stuff. So as Esau's saying, so they're moving around.
Pablo
There you go.
Escobar.
So yeah, I do know the name.
Yeah, of course you do. Everybody knows Pablo Escobar. It's just I couldn't think of the name in it. Yeah, that dude. Hippos. What the fuck is big hippo? These ain't got nothing and nothing better to do, man. Anyway, go ahead. And the menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. That's that. Now, when you look at the word monster, people think a monster like they've got the Hollywood version of. Ah. No, the monster is actually a medical term. It just means basically malformed. That's all it is. So like the Elephant Man, he was a monster. You know, they used to have the circus freaks. Those were monsters. Monsters isn't like the Wendigo or fucking the Boogeyman and all that stuff. That's just Hollywood version of a monster. It's a monstrosity. It's something which is deformed, not usual. That's where the word comes from. But it's an actual medical term, but obviously they don't use it. And you see that. How many monsters are there? There's more monsters than ever. Children are being born deformed and 8 legs and all kind of madness.
Like, they all got like cancers and all these things that are wrong with the body. Because he's polluting the earth, right? Polluting the food, the water, the air.
It used to be rare. Monsters were rare. Now it's like,
now it's affecting the children and the next generation and that, in different ways. Different ways. It's various. Like anything could happen. The child might come out different.
Vietnam, they got mad flipping like after the Agent Orange and they got monsters.
Japan after the big boy, little boy, Hiroshima and that.
There's so many monsters, man. Like, and that's not to be, we're not trying to be offensive. I'm saying that's what the scripture's talking about. Because remember, this was written and translated in the time when the term monster didn't mean what. So someone might read that and say, "Oh, menstruous women shall bring forth monsters." That's talking about like some alien or something. No, it's just talking about deformed human. That's what it means. It's a deformity, and you see that many people are just being born deformed, man. Crazy. But that's prophecy that would be happening in these last days.
Down syndromes and that type of stuff there.
Yeah, that's a monster, man.
So yeah, man.
People getting born with like attached to people and you know what I'm saying, man? Flipping 20 arms, half an arm. You know what I mean? Crazy. That's what it says. And the salt waters shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and the understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber. And it shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinence be multiplied upon earth. One land also shall ask another. And that's what you see now. Like people are lacking wisdom and understanding in almost everything, man. And it's leading to this increase in wickedness and madness in the earth. Madness that's going on nowadays is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like the murders that are even committed now don't even make no sense. Like, it's just pure madness that's going on in the earth. Idiocracy. That's what we're living under. This pure idiocy. And lack of everything is self-destructive behavior, toxic behavior.
Everybody thinks they're smart.
But everyone thinks they're smart, yeah, and they're entitled to an opinion. They're fucking dummies, man. But that's the age that we're living. That's another proof that we're in the end, man. Idiocracy. People pretending to be NPCs. Right. One land also shall ask another, and say, is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say, no. Because everywhere you look, man, it's this unrighteousness, man. From one end of the earth to another, it's this corruption and wickedness. There ain't no place for the righteous. Any place you can go. The east is wicked too. The west is wicked, but the east is full of wickedness. Everywhere is wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no righteous land. That's why we need to be delivered And then the scriptures speak about a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. But one thing we do know is righteousness don't dwell here. Righteousness don't dwell here at all, man. They be doing madness in the east, man. All kind of unrighteousness and wickedness be going on over there. No doubt. From China, like, come on. China's just nothing but madness, man. They might harvest your organs and shit, man. At the same time shall many hope, but nothing obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not be, I mean, their ways shall not prosper. Yeah, man. Everything everything's down bad right now. It's true. Come back to where you were now. What's that?
Yes, we'll grab the script. So Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
So you have to be wise in these times because there's so much deception out there. So much deception and so much out there for you to stumble on and to destroy yourself with, especially of the mind. Like the other day, they had this alien thing, man. Now they've been planting this alien deception in the minds of the people since we were children. But if you say to someone alien, what do they think of?
Or he said green man.
Now, why do they think? Is it because they've seen it?
Hollywood.
It's Hollywood.
Which
Which
is-
is your concept of a
Sure. That's a witch part.
yeah,
That's
your
what they do,
concept
isn't
of
it?
an alien
Yeah.
and even believing that aliens could exist is because they've been using not only Hollywood but also these scientists. You know, we've worked out there's this amount of stars and this amount of galaxies and
Must
like that's the more people believe in the actual aliens here than God. I'm telling you, because the aliens have been put as scientific. It's like, yeah, like there's a probability. There's more probability to them that there's aliens than there is God. Oh, we ain't alone, bro. What do you mean? The big question: are we alone? What do you mean? There's dogs right there. What are you talking about? What do you mean? What way do you mean? Are we alone? What are you talking about? Are we alone? Like, I know what. Whoever asked that, it's Esau. Are we alone? No man has ever sat there and said, "Now what? Are we alone?" Man might say, "Why am I alone, brother?" Because he ain't got no gal, bro. That's why you're alone. But man, I never said, "Are we alone?" What's that even, bro? Come on, think about it. Where does that whole notion come from? Esau planted that into the minds of the people. Ain't no person gonna be sitting there thinking about, "Are we alone?"
It's like you entertain those ideas or give the idea to entertain those ideas, but when it comes to the Most High now, oh, they ain't trying to talk about the Most High, Big Bangs this and Big Bangs that, and
Because
Edge
this
of
alien.
Universe this and
What's an alien? An alien is just something foreign or strange. If you go into the scriptures, the heathens are referred to as aliens. But now you think an alien is a little green man. Why? Because Esau planted that in your mind with the E.T. movie and what's it called? All the original ones. Encounters of the first kind, or fourth kind, or whatever. One of them ones, yeah. And they pushed the alien genre, Star Trek, and all. So this has been embedded through popular culture into the minds of the people. And then on top of that, what Esau done, right? The Roswell thing, bullshit. The Roswell thing is pure bullshit. Oh, and then Men in Black turned up. And then they even made a movie about the Men in Black to reinforce that and the idea that the government's hiding something or Area 51, and everybody knows about it. It's so hidden and secretive, but everybody knows about Area 51. And then you'll have whistleblowers go on Joe Rogan and be like, "Yeah, I was working on this alien thing and I got headaches. When I talk about it, I get these headaches." And it's like, so what you're telling me is this thing's so super secret, yeah? They put you down there and your life was supposed to be dedicated to that, but you're sitting here with Joe Rogan now when they could have easily just and then got rid of you like and no one would have ever heard of you. But they've left you alone to now be on Joe Rogan telling everyone. And no, all those whistleblowers and UFO hunters talking about aliens are all 99, no, not all of them. Some of them are just stupid. A lot of them are plants that are there specifically to push that counter narrative to make it look like, yeah, the government's hiding something. And then meanwhile, the government starts releasing unclassified documents about it. Can't you see? They're building this narrative around this alien thing. But if you read the scriptures, you know the only aliens that exist. You want to talk about alien in terms of foreign from this terrestrial realm? Yeah, the angels. It tells you they're celestials. The Most High would technically be alien from this terrestrial realm because he doesn't dwell here. He dwells in the third heaven. So if you want to go like that, then yeah, but it ain't talking about no little green men or no Klingons. Esau put that into your mind, and now you're gonna be caught up in that debate. And then the other day they had the Mexican, in the Mexican Congress, man, just pull out some fucking aliens, the fucking some little things. Yo, this, and people can't see this, and all that is to do is to bring the debate and the yeah, I believe, I don't believe, and all this confusion, and it's all deception. When if you read the scripture, you just know it's bullshit.
And it's something that Ronald Reagan, President Reagan at the time, right? He said about alien invasion, right? That we would band together to fight that thing. It's just to get people on the same wavelength of things. Because obviously, if there's a threat now that's outside this place, you know, people should be putting away the differences, right? That's what's claimed, right?
Listen,
you know,
but it's so easy, and that's why you got to be careful with the alternative media, because the alternative media is also a tool of the elites to push alternative ideologies and truths which are not truths at all. It's just more confusion.
Just to add to that, because Esau's goal is for all to become one. Right, so he's pushing these different narratives out there, you know, encouraging people that we need to put aside differences and that, because maybe one day we might be facing some threat. Yeah, Esau.
And then when we're telling you the truth of the Bible, now you got a counter thing in your mind that, you know, the chariots. No, there's little green men. It's just all to just bring. Esau thrives on confusion, and that's all it is. So now you got little green men mummified in a damn Mexican Congress, and it was going viral. And it's bullshit. God, let's read this.
It's about half truths and stuff, man. Because you have to blur the lines of truth.
Yeah, that's all it is.
You can't tell a straight lie because it's dumb, right? If you tell something that's close to the truth, sort of like the truth, that people are gonna run with that because it's vague.
You go on YouTube and there's guys breaking down that there's 2,000 different type of aliens and giving you their descriptions, and some of them are good and some of them are bad. You got the greys.
Oh, is that fucking Men in Black, bro?
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Get the fuck out.
The man, I was talking about fucking Nibiru and all kinds of, you know, craziness, you know, greys and that kind of stuff. And bro, come on, man. When something like that is gonna happen, yeah, it ain't gonna be what you think it is. It ain't gonna be what you heard. At least not from us. What you're gonna hear is the angels, man. The Lord returning.
You see, that's going viral, and that's captivating the minds of the people. And you know, then you're gonna have to have a debate with a guy, and that's what his mind is consumed by, the alien, you know, aliens. Because you watch, you know, alien movies. Star Trek, you know, and Babylon. Was it Babylon 5?
Babylon. You know, fusion. You know?
Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine was alright. The cat them, man. Of Psalms 10 and start from 2, it say, the wicked is pride, those persecute the poor, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart desire, and he blesses the covetous, whom the Lord abhors. Yeah, the greedy, the covetous, the Most High don't deal with people like that, man. And that's what this world is all. This world is all about uplifting covetous and greedy people, man, and praising them. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after Most High. These men don't put the Most High at the center of anything that they do. And these are the same men claiming to be Christian, but they teach your children evolution in school. America teaches evolution in the schools. Vocab don't have a problem with that. He got a problem with the Hebrew Israelites, but he don't have a problem with the fact they're teaching them evolution, even down to the fact that evolution is also racism and eugenics, which is actually a real life thing that's affecting people and killing people every day through abortions and all these things. Vocab ain't got a problem with none of that. He got a problem with us calling ourselves Israelites. He don't have a problem with evolution, because you don't see him doing a million videos on evolution and confronting these professors that's teaching these things. He don't do that. He don't have a problem with none of that. He got a problem with us because we say that we're the Israelites. We're racist, but these eugenicists can kill millions of people. That's cool. He's all right with that. 50 million babies can get aborted under the guise of eugenics and evolution, and that's fine. But the Hebrew Israelites, we're like a threat to society. It's bullshit. Esau doesn't really care about the Most High. He doesn't make movies like for instance, showing people the fear of the Lord. They get people to reverence what? Gangsters, superheroes, and aliens, right? And demons. That's what the people reverence and look up to when it comes to the movies. The movies is all making you think that that's even witchcraft. Like Harry Potter makes you think witches are cool. Oh, they got all this power and all this thing. It's like, yo, Moses done dust off them dusty witches long time ago, man. Moses dusted them witches off, man. Them witches and the warlocks, them magi's of Egypt.
With the broomsticks, right?
Yeah, with them broomsticks, yeah. They gone got dealt with, man. Them man already got showed they're not on no level. But Harry Potter's is a great wizard and everyone, and they make it sure it looks cool with all the flashing lights and the electricity and all that kind of stuff. That's what Esau really is pushing in the earth, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, people are looking up the car thieves, man. You know what I'm saying? Like criminals, it's just everything else but the Most High. They don't reverence the Most High. They don't go seek to the wisdom that's in the Bible. Most people hate on the Bible. They don't know what's in there. Most planners say, "Oh, the Bible that's not applicable." What do you mean? Have you read what's in there? Because what is in there is completely applicable. But you want to talk about the Constitution as written by a couple of crackers, like
racist.
You know what I mean? Is that still applicable today? Of course, that's how you do things. You apply the law, even as things change, you can still apply. That's how judges do things. They apply the principle of the law into the situation. It's like there's a law in the scriptures about if your bull gender it, and you know that the bull tries to attack people, you got to keep that bull in because if it goes and attacks anyone, you're going to be held responsible. Well, the same thing goes for these dogs. You see all these people running around with these crazy dogs, yeah, and they know the dog's aggressive, yeah. You already know it's an aggressive dog. It's different if the dog's not aggressive and it goes and does something out of character. But if you know your dog's aggressive, yeah, and that dog gets away and does anything, then you really should be held accountable. If it kills someone, you should really be put to death because it's your dog. You didn't have that on the same thing with the bull. So you can put that bull precedent and apply it to almost any animal. If you know your animal is dangerous like that, well, then you need to take precaution.
It's like they even do it now, innit? There might be a name of a bill, innit? They named it after some sort of case or whatever. Maybe that gets brought up again in another type of case similar to that or whatever. So yeah, it was written about a bull, but it can apply to any animal.
Yeah, the wisdom of life doesn't get outdated. Wisdom is wisdom. But people think that the wisdom is outdated. Oh, the Bible, because they don't really. Esau don't teach people the Bible properly. The churches don't teach you the Bible properly. They sure as hell don't break down the law and tell you that what is the wisdom of this law. They don't even bother him that. It's just archaic, and that's it. That's all they want you to know, and then push their bullshit. But their bullshit doesn't even work in reality.
When do they ever reference the laws, the scriptures? They make you swear on it when you go into the courts. They don't ever consult the scriptures ever.
What's practical? Then they'll have to be like understand that party boy is not the right way to go, and that is true wisdom, and that's wisdom of life because body boy people are perverse, and anyone that's a sexual deviant will bring what sexual deviancy.
As well,
you can't bot your man around here somewhere. Wait, that man ain't right in the brain. It's sick in the head. Yeah, he obviously ain't right.
affectionate.
Yeah, it's mad. They got these people as teachers. A lot of teachers now are lesbian and gay. How you gonna have teaching the children? When I went to my daughter's school the other day, there was one black brother, sweet, but the man was moving high fructose, man. Man was moving sweet. And I straight away when I saw him, I was with my missus. I saw him and I know she see him and we both just looked at each other like, what are going? Like, how is this guy teaching you? And the man's fruity as you like.
You can't even get the human anatomy right. You know what I mean? Or its use correction.
And just needed to
man skip biology class.
Yeah, all kind of wickedness. Like,
But you already hear in the scriptures, man, had many demons on them.
yeah.
A legion of demons. So these men could be doing anything at the time, man.
Most High, uh, Most High is not in all his thoughts. Yeah, these elites and them man don't give a damn about the Most High. They're all about themselves, and that's how the people are. The people are under that doers vote vibration too because they're taught to be that way, and especially through popular media. There's one program that got on Netflix right now. It's called Sex Education. Now, this program is meant to be it's positive sex positivity, and basically all the program is showing you is that as a teenager, you should just be liberated to explore sexuality, and that's good and that's funny. So it's like they're actually enforcing that. Yeah, as obviously when you get to a teenager, so-called teenager, you're not an adult, you have sexual urges, and you've reached the age of sexual maturity. But what comes with sexual maturity? Maturity. You should now treat sex with respect. Sex is something which should be respected. Sex is not a plaything. But you're encouraging teenagers to treat sex as a plaything, to experiment and just bang, 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 bang. What is that? That's chaos.
You know, you can get diseases.
Diseases,
You know,
children out of wedlock.
There's plenty of cons to this. You know, pregnancies you're not ready to deal with. Family you ain't ready to raise yet. All that type of stuff. Financial problems now.
It's mad. It's mad, but they're encouraging it. Yeah. But hold on, I thought you're not meant to be having sex that young.
It's like, but don't
It's
worry.
illegal, innit?
But don't worry. We got medications and you got abortions. You got all these type of things that we can mitigate all that. So just go have fun.
But you're not meant to be having sex as a teenager like that. But they've got a program reinforcing that. So a child watching that thinks it's normal. So then your daughter's in high school, it's normal to just getting banged out by the team. Or your son's in high school just running through holes, destroying his life. When his energy should really, at that age, be put towards building himself up and having discipline and learning to be mature. Because sex is a mature thing. It's not a playboy thing. That's why they call it playboy. Because they want the boy to play with sex. Sex is not so. You're not supposed to play sex. Yeah, I don't play. serious business, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's true. Sex is serious business. That's why it's supposed to be accompanied with a marriage and a structure. Because it's this more than just what they contracts, but they just want it to be a fleeting thing, and that's how you get whore culture. Yeah? But they're promoting that on Netflix. It's sex positivity. What the fuck does that mean? Whore positivity, basically. Sodom and Gomorrah positivity. Because you know there's be a batty man in there. Oh yeah, try being a batty man. Yeah. Oh, you might like it. Yo, listen, pause. We ain't listen. Don't try this is what we do know. As a man, don't try no battiness. That is not to be tried. You see what you try? So you might try some fried chicken, or you might try some. This brother the other day, man, tried the fish, the grilled fish. You get me? Like the real way, the real and proper way. Yeah, you listen, the brother, he dealt with it proper still. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, yeah, like this is definitely serious, but like man, you don't know like it's in his genetics, but Benjamin, yeah, man was eating it like listen, we're dealing with it real, yeah. That's what you're supposed to try. You might dibble dabble in a different righteous food that you never had no more, but you don't dibble dabble with dick, bro. Or if you're a girl, you don't need to experiment with another girl. But that's what they're promoting now.
It's to say it's affirmation, isn't it? It's making you feel comfortable for being this way. And that's why you get you all these fucking deviants today, because they all defending themselves and their lifestyles, man. Even though they're all fucked up.
And they're gonna become confused. You become by the time you're 20 and 21 now, you're just a confused and damaged individual.
Structure, no direction.
It's just mad, like, and they're promoting that on Netflix. I was like, what the fuck is this? What sex positive? Why are you promoting this for the youth, bro? Is this what the youth really need? Just to have sex, bro? It's act stupid in high school. This is funny now. Is this what you want for your children? And when you send your children to school, is this what you want them to be getting up to?
Yeah, that's why that shit should be left to the parents, man.
Hey, boy, yeah, but you see this Esau, man, it's promote madness, man.
Go on the Channel 4, they promote what? They have a program that's called Naked Education.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that. That's off.
What's that one? Never needed that throughout all history, and now you do. Nah, it's just because they're just bringing chaos and destroying the minds of the people. Oh, man. Uh, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
And that's what these devils, these elites, you have to understand the arrogance and the pride. Like for us, we can see that this man's going down. Like we can see it, and it's our faith. That's because we've been given that gift. Esau don't really believe he's going down. He's arrogant. You gotta understand the arrogance of man, and I understand it because every man has tasted arrogance. We've all grew up and tasted arrogance in some way. I know I have. Listen, there was a point, yeah, where listen, I didn't think nobody could beat me in a race. And at that moment, I didn't know that I'll be walking around now, can't run for a bus. Arrogance. Because when you're fast and you got that youth, especially the youth, when you're young, it's easy to become arrogant because you never experienced being old. You never experienced losing the things that you have. You have it every day, what you think. You know what I mean?
Experience is a great teacher.
Experience will humble you, man. It's like beauty. There was one video with a woman, yeah, and she looked like old and bust down in it. And people forget that. That's why youth look at older people like the way they do certain times. Because they can't ever imagine an older person being like them. So you might be looking like, yo, like, you know, looking at your grandmother all mash up. There was a time she was 20.
She was alive and stone.
She was 20, she was 18. Like, there was one woman, yeah, she was like, y'all need to realize that one day this is going to turn into this. And she had a picture of herself when she was like a young woman, and she looked bad, bro. She looked bad as hell, bro. But when she was old, she was fucked. Yeah. But when she, I guarantee when she was that young, she never envisioned one day the humility would come to this. You don't. Because when you're winning, the last thing you envision is losing because the constant winning, you just think this is how it is. This is who I am. I'm a winner. I just win. I'm going to win forever. I'm going to rule forever. I'm ruling. I've been ruling. My dad been ruling. My dad's been ruling. We've been ruling. There ain't no coming down from this. I don't even know what that's like. Arrogance, pride. It's because men, we live in the temporal for most of our time. What really consumes a man is what's happening here and now and his experience like. So when you got that strength and you're mighty, man, you're proud with that might because you don't know, like, you're gonna be a cripple next week. Car crash, come crippled. You didn't even think that could happen to you. You see it happen to someone else, but it couldn't happen to you. That can't happen to me. That will never happen to me. That's the pride, the arrogance. So Esau is filled with that same pride and arrogance. He don't believe he's going down. He believes he got the way. He can do something. He believes in his own wisdom, his own intelligence, right? Every time he do one of these rituals and it, you know, and he's pulling strings the way he's doing, it gasses you. That's why the scriptures say what knowledge puffeth up. The more you learn, the more knowledge you have, the more you think you know everything.
It's Sirach 3:18. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself.
You are humble. The more you know, the more you learn how much you don't know. But Esau don't see it that way. If you learning more and more and more, you like, right, bro, if I keep learning more and more and more, that means what don't I know? There must be so much that I don't know if I can keep learning. Esau's like, the more he knows, I know everything. That's their mentality. That's the way they operate. Arrogance and pride.
But he's never given glory to the Most High for the position he's been in.
But guess what?
You know?
That's beautiful because we know the algorithm. When you get to that level of arrogance and pride, there's only one thing that happens in the algorithm. Because it's a set algorithm. It's not, you can't hack it. When you get to that level of arrogance and pride, it's a code. Destruction. Humility. And it always comes. Look through the annals of history. No man that was in power ever thought he was going down at the height of his power. He thought he had it all planned out and it was all going his way. Till it all came crashing down. And it's like, what the fuck? How did that happen? And they always, I'm telling you something about pride, they'll always do something that other people in hindsight go, that was crazy. Like, if only he didn't do that. If only.
He went too far.
He went too far. But you know why man always go too far? Arrogance. Right. It makes you overestimate yourself. and you do the thing that the Most High wanted you to do, that's going to lead to your very own destruction. That's the beautiful thing about the algorithm. You're going to do it. I mean, the Lord, it's ultimately the Lord, but the pride is going to make you, just to show you how dumb you are. That's why the Bible says he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. Because you become so wise, you start acting stupid. You become so wise, you start acting stupid. You overestimate your own wisdom. You overestimate your own knowledge. And then you do something stupid. And you don't think you could do something stupid because you're so fucking smart. Yeah.
Psalms 49 verse 10. For he seeth that wise men die, likewise the fool. Right? And the brutish persons perish and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations.
That's their thing. They even thinking about they're gonna live forever. They think they're gonna develop the technology and the knowledge that they can live forever and use the bionics. It's like, brother, like
no man's ever escaped death. But these men think they can.
pride. It's all pride. All we're seeing in this earth is what happens when a man reaches peak pride. Then they got the pride to basically determine what male and female is.
They've got all the stories as well. They got the scriptures. They got all the myths. You know, the legends of Greek and Roman mythology.
Oh, pride.
They got all the stories, man. But they don't
Pride
want to
is
take
a
heed.
terrible thing. I remember when I was growing up, yeah. This is the thing, yeah. I went to a football tryout with them Gascoigne man, yeah. And I turned up, and the guy said to me, and he had injuries. He said, "Listen, yeah, my professional career ended because of injuries, yeah." And you know when you're young and dumb, you're just thinking, you know that one, you just pride, you just arrogant, yeah. And he's telling me, he's like, "Listen, yeah, the one thing I'm gonna tell you." The man said it to me specifically. If you get injured, do your recovery and recover from your injury. Don't play on your injuries because, and he gave me the full speech. I sprained my ankle like a week later. Yeah. Even my mom told me, don't play no football, your ankle sprained. I think about a week into the sprained ankle, you need to rest it. I went to Greatfield Park, played football with them waste man. And then man come and took my fucking ankle out. And that's how I fucked my ankle up. Because it was already sprained. I shouldn't have been playing. And then the guy come and broke up the ankle, and that was it. Football, that was the end of me and kicking the ball in my right foot properly. Why? What did the guy say to me? Arrogance, man. Pride. Nah, listen, man, I can play. Ankle's all right. Didn't listen, even though he'd been through it. And he told me, he's done it, but you don't think it's going to happen to you. You think it's special. Niggas always think it's special. And then motherfuckers, what did Blade say? Motherfuckers are always trying to ski uphill, man. Everyone thinks it's special. Everyone thinks it's not going to be them. That's why everyone wants to be a drug dealer, man. And we know how it ends. But pride and arrogance, yeah, I'm that hood, I'm that, and you end up shot, killed, or dead, same like everyone else. Yeah, go on.
Psalms 58 verse 4 said their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. But these people don't want to hear about, a day where they're not going to be on the top.
Yeah.
We're bringing all these judgments out against Esau, against the heathen. None of it.
They don't want to hear no warning. Hey, we're telling them. Listen, the men of the Lord are literally telling them what they're doing, and it's going to lead to their destruction. Do you think they're going to go, oh, no, well, you know what? Yeah, we're smart, so we're just not going to do that.
Oh,
now what?
We're fully going to do it.
They're fully going to do it, man. The arrogance, no. It's arrogance. Yeah. It's absolute arrogance, but that's why the scriptures are so beautiful.
These niggas, these low lies, these bombs, and whatever, man. They just no respect, and that's fine.
But doesn't the scripture call them the most proud? That's pride in itself. Yeah. Man is telling you what you're gonna do to lead to your own destruction, and they're like, wow, gonna do it. No, who can stop me?
Well, it's like Moses and Pharaoh, right? Moses kept telling them, bro, look, if you don't let my people go, this is what's gonna happen. And Pharaoh was like, nah, man, I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to hear that.
Arrogance.
But subsequently, what happened? The plagues came, and eventually, what happened to Pharaoh? They were destroyed, right? And that's the exact same position that we're in now. Moses is purposely hardening Esau's heart right now, making him believe that he can somehow get around all of this.
Esau is gassed. He's gassed off the power, the wealth, especially the elites, man. But they just been playing a mad game in the earth.
They pretend to be humble in the
Yeah, they're not humble.
gas, man.
Prince William and them man are humble. They're playing the whole world. How could you be humble when you're literally playing a con on the whole world, multiple cons, and these men are eating out of your hand, and then you got man worshipping you on top of that? Like they're falling for the deceit to the level where they actually just these men are just like, wow, maybe we are gods. Like, and on top of that, you were born into it, so it's like you were raised in that thing. It's under that energy of like just winning, like just fucking over people and getting away with it and doing whatever you want in the earth, all the witchcraft, all everything. Come on, these men killing babies, doing what they want to do. They're gassed. The level of you give a nigga a gun in the ends and they get gassed. How much more these men that are commanding armies, blood, and just having people burnt off, like gassed. You give a nigga a gun in the hood, they get add another two foot to their fucking height, like when they're walking around on the ends. You know how it is.
No man contest.
Yeah, they get gassed, man. And it could be a little 3-8, little 3-8, you know. And them man, yeah, man. How much more these elites, man? They're gassed beyond all level of gas. They got sex slaves and everything. They're not worried. They're fine.
Comfortable.
It's comfortable.
Proud, pride, comfortable pride. They got going on.
Yeah, but you see, man, that pride it leads you to do silly things.
They've grown into their pride. You know, they've become
Pride come passing them about like a chain.
So, yeah. You know, so they ain't got a flash because Jake flashing it. I mean, Jake had they flash it because they knew the freshness. You know, they ain't growing into it. These men have been in it.
Their flash is different. Them man put their name on streets and shit. Yeah. Them man. Hey, go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus 16 and let me start from 6. In the congregation of the ungodly shall a fire be kindled, and in the rebellious nation lust is set on fire. He was not pacified toward the whole giants who fell away in the strength of their foolishness. Neither spared he the place where Lot sojourned, but abhorred.
And another thing you need to realize about the old world, they had technology in the old world. They had technology in the old world. These men were living for hundreds of years, man, and they weren't stupid. There's this image, there's this idea, and this is the beautiful thing about arrogance. There's an idea of intellectual and technological superiority of the modern day man. But what you'll find out is there was technology in the ancient world. There was even more technology before the flood. They had technology. It just doesn't mean anything. When the Lord comes to do, you see, if the most important thing to have is not technology. The Lord didn't give Israel technology as their wisdom in the sight of the nation. Technology is just something that you get. Science and development, and then you can do this and do that. The most important thing is the fear of the Lord and the knowledge and wisdom and that comes from the understanding of these scriptures and the laws. If you don't have that, it don't matter what technology you got, mobile phones, Wi-Fi, it will only lead to your own destruction. And ultimately, a great calamity will come that your technology can't save you from. And that happened in the flood. They had technology back then. They had technology, but what are you gonna do when the Lord floods the whole earth? If the Lord flooded the whole earth right now, they couldn't do nothing. They'd be fucking dead. Imagine that the ground just opened up now, yeah, and there's mad water coming up from in the ground, yeah, and then there's mad water coming from the sky, yeah, and covering all the mountains. Everyone will be fucking dead if who the Lord don't want to save. But we got mobile phones. And what's that gonna do? You're gonna take a picture of the fucking flood while you're drowning or something? Oh, they got submarines. Bro, submarines, you can't survive forever. And if you've got mad currents moving, you're just gonna get dashed up into a rock and die, man. We're talking about a global flood, man. You're fucked. That's a massive disaster. But the arrogance of man is that you're on some kind of level. This world ain't no different than the world before that got destroyed with water, and you're at this point again. peak arrogance, peak pride, think you got it all figured out, think you got the what my grandmother would call the plaster for every sore, and you're still gonna go down in ashes. Yeah, go on now.
Jeremiah 20, Jeremiah 9, verse 23. Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord.
So then what does that tell you? Why is our kingdom gonna be so glorious and everlasting? Is it because we're gonna have the better technology?
Fundamentals, yeah.
No, this is the better the fundamentals. What's the fundamentals of the kingdom to come? The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Heavenly Father. That's what we're actually, in fact, what are we taking into the next kingdom from this kingdom? The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Heavenly Father. Once you have that, that is the foundation to build life, to build a kingdom, and to sustain a kingdom. Not pride, because that's the only thing Esau has right now.
But it's the thing, our kingdom will be sustained forever because of this, right? Imagine what we can do in a time of unlimited
We're
time.
gonna have all the technology and all that.
It just makes sense, right? We're gonna have something so much far beyond what any civilization has ever had before. It just makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's the fundamental, like the brother said, the fundamentals of man is fear the Most High, man, and hold on to that wisdom. Esau rejected the fear of the Most High and chose pride. And then the Lord gave him all the technology he wanted, and he's still gonna end up in a fucking pit with a fucking loincloth on, with some itchy loincloth, man.
Dusty.
Looking dusty. Is that, brother? I thought you had a laptop. What? I thought you had a laptop, and I thought you were gods. I thought you had everything figured out. You had AI, blood. What happened?
Where's your AI at?
Where's your AI at?
Why didn't your AI tell you about this?
Right there, bro.
Yeah, where's your witchcraft and all that?
Yeah. Saying your best bud to say he's not your best bud no more, man.
Right. I had to do that to you, man.
Satan's wrong with us.
That man had the same pride before the flood. Same pride. There we go. Let's continue.
See, neither spared he the press where Lot sojourned, but abhorred them for their pride. He pitied not the people of perdition who were taken away in their sins, nor the 600,000 footmen who were gathered together in the hardness of their hearts. And if there be one stiff-necked among the people, it is marvel if he escape unpunished. For mercy and lust are with him. He is mighty to forgive and to pour out his pleasure.
That's why the Most High has given us the time to repent, man. But guess what? The repentance is only open to the elect of Israel. Everybody else is going to get judged in some form or fashion. You know, just like Sodom and Gomorrah was judged. Only Lot and his daughters survived, right? Because his wife got cooked because, you know, she couldn't bear the thought of leaving everything behind. You know? But the Lord has given us the opportunity to repent, to return to the Lord before he brings his judgment down.
He's given us. That's why the scriptures say, man, a lot of people say it, but they don't understand it, man. They don't understand it. The meek shall inherit the earth. What makes them meek, man? Prince of submitting yourself to the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, understanding that he is. We are not. He is. Even down to who we are, and you know, we're wretched. We can do nothing without the Most High. We can't be good without him. He's the one that's gonna make us good. Everything is down to the Most High. The elect are being delivered by the Most High. That's meekness, not by your own strength or nothing of yourself, but it's really of the Lord.
A righteous is a filthy rag.
A righteous is filthy rag. You have to be meek. You have to be humble, and that's what going through this world with this knowledge does. Humble you, because you realize that you really can't do nothing without the Most High. That you do fall short, and even if you want to do things, sometimes you're like, Rob, what am I really? I need the Lord. I need mercy. And it's bringing me to that point of submission and humility and meekness. Esau's going in the other direction. Yeah, I could do this. I got it going on. Let me just hook this up.
That's what the prophecy was, right? Two manner of people shall come
Two
out from
manner
the
of
womb,
people,
right?
man.
Esau on that Cain tip, man. He on that pride tip,
Wow.
you know?
That's
It's-
it. The ancient when the ancient God was upset, he could just flood. But now we have.
Oh yeah, that
I was
thing.
like, what's wrong with this dude?
Yuval
Man?
Harari.
Yo, this
He
guy,
actually thinks that.
This
That's
guy,
what the same thing they thought at the Tower of Babel, man. That they could
yeah,
avert some sort of judgment, man.
he's got the plaster for every sort. They could pick. They could go around the thing.
That is maximum
That
pride.
is maximum pride.
Maximum pride
This
right
is
there,
like,
man.
listen, it's like full counter.
Because you're flamer too, so we don't talk about the demons. He got legion, bro. You know, because what else would he?
Oh,
he
you dead? Oh, you fuck. Yeah, no, I didn't. I mean,
no,
officially. So
he got
Yeah,
maximum amount of demons on him, man.
he needs to escape
He
the
needs
fire.
to-
So he
tried.
gets a fireproof.
Yeah.
Yo,
Some antimatter fireproof cloak or some shit. Yeah, you try and do all that shit, man. Ain't none of you gonna fuck you up, man.
that's crazy, man. That's wild. He
Oh.
was saying some of those wildest shit that a man has
said.
ever said, man. And again, you're just a man. The most I give you, the most I could deal with you in so many ways.
Oh, there's so many ways to die.
Listen, the Most High runs this algorithm so hard that there could be a herb that heals you, and the Most High would just cut that off. Like, nope, I ain't gonna. The algorithm,
Oh,
just switch the algorithm clean off, bro. This is the Matrix. Out
turn
here.
it toxic. You know,
What do you think you are, man? The Most High runs this thing. His son was turning water to wine out here, man. They run this whole algorithm. Like, there is no rules when it comes to the Most High. Like, he'll do what he wants with you, and you just sitting there acting like you got the full counter. You just, yeah, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? I got, I don't, yeah. Anything the Most High can come up with, we just gonna back that away. Like return serve.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, it's pride. Whereas we're like, listen, man,
Oh, you better
pray the
check-
Most
you better
High
check
don't,
yourself.
pray the Most High don't jack me up, man, because anything could happen to me. Sometimes even when I watch these gore things, and I'm like, what's the difference between me and that person right now? And I think to myself, man, somebody's probably going through that right now. Why couldn't it be me?
Yeah, in Mexico.
Yeah,
That's a
but-
blessing in
but-
itself.
Yeah, but it could happen anywhere. Remember when we was growing up, that girl got beheaded, anything could happen to you. People always think that ain't gonna happen to me. Bro, the Most High can make anything happen to you. It doesn't matter. You have to be humble. You gotta just chill, man, because the Most High,
Put you in any
that guy
situation.
was talking wild, man. He was talking crazy. Yeah, God can't do that. He was basically saying, what's he gonna do?
And he a small hat, right? He meant to be, right? Of his children, Most High's children. So they claim, right? But he's speaking some mad shit like that,
Most High starts putting the test up.
and he ain't dead yet. He
That's
can't be an idiot, man.
Yeah, the Most High is gonna put him through some scenario. You're gonna find out what he got.
Yeah, I hope so. But he's saying that. Yeah,
Listen,
certainly
it has to. When the algorithm has to play out. It has to.
Maximum humility has to come upon him.
You have to. You have to learn. See, pride leads to destruction, and humility leads to exaltation. So, like I said, we're heading to maximum humility. Esau's on maximum pride, and we're cross-sectioning. We're reaching the both points at the same time. It's actually beautiful. Brothers are catching hell. Why do you think brothers are always catching hell? We're catching hell so that when you're catching hell, it forces you to be humble. When you're doing too good, you start forgetting about the Most High and start thinking you're the one that's doing it. But when you're catching hell, one thing we do know, you start getting humble, right? So the Lord is putting brothers through all this hell. It's all about making us meek. Esau is on a different trajectory for a reason. So he's going like this, and we're going like that.
Yeah,
So that
he ain't got no checks and balances, bro.
oh,
You know what I
nothing's
mean?
checking
Ain't,
this guy's
ain't nothing telling him he can't do it. The world is his oyster, bro. He can do anything, man. He's God. Yeah. He's God. He's like the chain man in
right.
Matrix, bro.
Walk like a god.
I was like,
Yeah, but you see what happened to him though. AJ touched him with the right hand, and man looked like he got hit with heroin.
yeah, man, laughing before.
Finished.
But he's like the chain dude in the Matrix. I think the third one, the second one, whatever it is. Like Neo was the one, right? He had the power, but in that train world, couldn't do shit. And my man, the hobo man, had all the power, man, fucking him up. You know what I'm saying? Because in that world, he's God, you know. But this is what I'm saying. He thinks he's the one in it, and he just ain't the one. The Most High gonna come and smash everything up that he's ever put his hand to
Before
build.
his eyes, and he's gonna feel helpless. And that when you're helpless, that makes you humble. Powerless. Because you're powerless to what's in front of you. You know? Go on, It's good to feel helpless sometimes, because when you feel helpless, you search for your power, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why the Lord puts you through things sometimes that all you can do is pray, because that makes you be humbled and you realize, like, boy, like you need the Most High to help you. Esau,
Can I just one more before I get to Infinity War? It's from Malachi chapter 4. I just want to get this point, right? It says, whereas Edom saith we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. This is the pride, right? Because they've come back into power after losing their kingdom, their empire. You know, the Romans and the Greeks, they come back in power after losing. They lost. You lose, right? They came back, right? So we should return and build the desolate places. Thus says, it says that, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says the Lord of hosts, they shall build. So you're going to build yourself back up. You're going to think you're high and mighty again. Because you have, right? So they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. Right? So no matter how far you've built yourself up since back then and how much technology you got since then, the Lord is the one that allowed it to happen. And at any moment, the Lord can take them, man. And that's why we, how you stay humble, knowing that the Most High is the one that did all that for you, man. To give you your time, your moment in the sun or whatever, man. But it has to come to an end. You've only been given that limited time to rule upon the earth. You've not been given forever. You've not been made to be made, to become gods on the earth. That's not for you. That's not for you, Edomites, man. That's for the Lord's children. And then how the Lord's children going to get it? Through humility, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, humility, man. Humility. Trusting in the Heavenly Father. That's why we're not going to save ourselves. The Lord is going to save us. That's why we didn't choose ourselves. The Lord chose us. It's all for us to understand that He is. He is. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the name. He is. Like Him. It's all on Him. Whereas Esau, he's condemned, but he believes in his own salvation through himself. I'm going to do it. I'm listening. I don't care if I'm cursed. I don't care none of that. I don't care if I ain't got the birthright. I'm going to give myself the birthright. That's Esau's spirit. I ain't going to find a way to do it myself. And then he going to find out that, bro, you were just some atoms, man.
I was too short the box to the Most High,
You were
man.
just some atoms, dog. You ain't nothing, man. This game's too big.
Ashes to ashes.
You're going to find out that, what would you say? This serious business.
But to the point, yeah, that it's not even like you trust in your might, but you're gonna be humiliated in the act of fighting or trying to resist. You'll be humiliated on the most biggest of scales ever, man.
We're gonna be like, dang.
But I never.
You know, man sitting there with his back broken in the pit, like, you know when he had him in the prison and man just there sitting, he's like in the TV. You're gonna watch his destruction. Hey, Batman was humble then, man. Oh man, Bane was a bad man. Yeah, go ahead.
Isaiah 16 and 12. And it's going to say, as his mercy is great, so is his correction also. He judges a man according to his works. The sinner shall not escape with his spoil.
Sinner shall not escape with spoil. Hey, that's an algorithm. See, they say the Bible is not just words. It's the Bible is the algorithms, the possibility. It's the code. This is a code that is written into this place, that a sinner shall not escape with spoil. And Esau is no different. No sinner has ever escaped, man. The Most High always get back. And the Most High will play that long game. You have you thinking you did get away with it. Nah, you come like Wraith, blood. When you least expect it, blood. Bam! That's it. You got took out. The Most High plays the long game. He don't have to get you today.
You know what?
He ain't in no rush. What do you need rush for? He made time. He got no rush for anything. But you will get got. The sinner will. And that's why the Bible says the wages of sin is death. No man can overturn that. The only one that can overturn the wager of sin is Yahweh Shai, because that power was given unto him. You can't overturn that. No one can't overturn the wage. That algorithm, only you got to be on a higher level to unlock that. That algorithm is set, man.
It's simply how shall I give him the keys, man? You got the keys.
Man. Only he can unlock that, man. You can't unlock it. You can't justify yourself. That's why you start seeing life as an algorithm, then you understand. It's just the code, man. And this is the code. This is the code book. It's showing you the code. Life for dummies. It's right here. Broken down for you.
guidebook.
You ain't gonna get away with it, man. So if it feels good, it feels sweet when you're doing it and you're rejoicing in your wickedness. But just know, remember to yourself that's gonna be paid back. 100% guaranteed.
Say in the moment's pleasure, you forget, pain or all that kind of stuff, right?
Mm.
But the opposite is true. In the time of adversity and pain, you forget
You
pleasures,
forget
man.
about that pleasure, man.
You know?
Okay. I was going to say, he judged. And the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated.
The patience, you see the godly, like you're turning away from certain wickedness, and you're saying, listen, man, I'm not gonna do that wickedness because God's gonna punish me. Rather, I'll suffer for righteousness' sake. So, like, even though we're not perfect, like by any stretch of the imagination, when you come into this truth, you do forego, you make sacrifices for the sake of righteousness. And things become difficult. Not to say you become some perfect being and you don't do no wrong. But what I'm saying is that you do basically sacrifice a huge part of your life, whatever that would have been, to do the truth. That's why a man wanted that MMA career and they got hurt. Because like we're here doing time is money, isn't it? In order for us to come out here and to learn these scriptures and do all these things and be so into this truth, you have to dedicate yourself to it. And anytime you dedicate yourself to one thing, that is time where you're not dedicated to another. So when you're dedicating yourself to the righteousness of the Most High, and His ministry, that's you sacrificing something else you could have done in the world or some wickedness that you wanted to do, right? But the Lord doesn't have to, but He will reward you for it. And that's why it says the reward of them that diligently seek after Him. That's part of the Lord's algorithm that He gave. He said, listen, if you're patient and you show patience towards me, then I will reward you for that because it's in the Lord's hand to reward. And that will happen. The prophets, the men of the Lord, their patience will be rewarded. How long you think it takes, it will be rewarded. No? But it goes the other way for the wicked. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Which is where you go on. I was gonna say because this is
what
what
I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say this, right? This is why I said before, like being an Israelite isn't enough in this truth, right? Because we're not just regular Israelites. Those that are in this truth that are doing the work are not regular Israelites. Regular Israelites get to live normal lives. They're farmers. Back in the age would have been farmers. They got things to take care of, man. But men, the Lord, the prophets, they were taken out of that world, man. They're there to serve the Most High and do His work. So they sacrifice having a normal life. We can't be like you. We can't be like other Israelites, just doing whatever you feel like doing. We have a commitment to the Lord to fulfill, and we have to forsake things in this world.
Give up your youth. And it's good that you forsake a lot of them things. A lot of things are just going to destroy you anyway. Women and all that stuff is just going to lead you down. Women and riotous behavior and all these different things, among other things, will just destroy you anyway. That's part of the algorithm. So it's good that you do. But it is a patience. Bro, you are suffering while you're going through these things by denying yourself, and it's a form of suffering. It is. And then so the Lord said it quite plainly, man.
It's just that I don't, because there's a lot of Israelites out there that claim they're free in the street, man. They still want to do everything like a normal man or person can do, a normal Israelite would do. So they bring these things into the ministry, man, and trying to mix it up.
There's that pride.
They're trying to get the best of both worlds, like Hovis bread.
Pride and arrogance, like thinking that you you're gonna do your own thing, man. You're gonna do it your way, but your way ain't always the way. So you have to be careful when it comes to this ministry that you are doing things the Most High. But some men are doing too much, innit? We know who those mans are, and we can see they've tried to basically co-opt the Most High's ministry for themselves, man. And we warn you about these type of people, man.
Those that consumed by gain and fame and whatever, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like we all need money, trust me. I need, but at the end of the day, you know what is most important, man? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of this heavenly Father and his suffering. But the scripture says if we suffer with him, you know, we shall also reign with him. So the part of this truth is gonna have to go through suffering. And to be honest with you, a big part of our suffering is your own self as well, anyway. So that's part of your purging. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go read that again. Sometimes you just fucking up. Um, again, Ecclesiasticus 16 and 13. The sinner shall not escape with his spoils, and the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated. Frustrated.
in front of us.
And the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated. Make way for every work of mercy, for every man shall find according to his works. The Lord hardened Pharaoh that he should not know him, that his powerful works might be known to the world. His mercy is manifest to every creature, and he has separated his light from the darkness, which is with an adamant. Say not thou, I will hide myself from the Lord. Read that again. He has separated the what? The light from anything? Where was that? Oh, that's hard, man. 16. His light from the darkness. Damn. So you on one side or the other, man. Yo, see, there's Esau's on the other side. He's on a mad darkness level, man. He's truly in the dark. The man's pride has just got man on a different level. His Lord said he separated the light from the darkness, like adamant. So it's either you know him and you got it, or you ain't. There ain't even no middle ground. He separated it. It's like you're either of the elect and you have this truth, or you don't. You're in darkness.
That means that even 100% truth is more and more important, right? There's no gray area. There's no in between area where you can have it or don't have it. That's why Lord said he don't deal with lukewarm. You have a hot or cold, man.
That's crazy. That there is wild, man. When you think about it, that's mad. But then you just look at Esau over there. He's in competence, man. But he really think he got the light. He think he the Illuminati, illuminated. He got all this, but you ain't got shit because you're actually in darkness.
The Lord, man. Have you believed that?
You think you got it going on? You ain't got nothing going on because the Lord ain't giving you a bit of light. He separated it. Wow, that's crazy. Say not thou, I will hide myself from the Lord. That's that guy, isn't it? Tavares. Invisibility in the technology. Yeah, when the angels come, I just put on this invisibility cloak. Yeah, like Harry Potter. Shall any remember me from above? I shall not be remembered. The Most High's pleasure is serious, man. The Most High is the God of knowledge, man. See, Esau got all these data, innit? But you see, Esau's is a fucking fraud. So everything you do on the internet and all the information is all collated so that the AIs can like use the data to be predictive and know everything. That's what it's all about. That's why they say data is the new oil. They want data so they could be all knowing and then have a system where they can action that data. That's why they want all this technology, like the high level computer power, computer storage power, and all that stuff. We've discussed it before because they want to use technology to become like the Most High. But you can't. The Most High literally knows everything. He's a store of all knowledge. And he ain't like forgetful like a man can be forget. You ever forget where the remote is? And that's just showing you that you don't utilize your brain properly because your brain knows. No, just think about it. Yeah, all the information that you like, for instance, your eyes here, as you're looking out here, has actually taken in the image of all this thing. But then I say to you that what color is that to you over there? You're like, because you're just not accessing the information properly. And you can train your brain to better. You have to train your brain to be able to properly access all the information that your brain is taking in. You can do that, but more time your brain ain't trained, so you can't remember. Like if I said to you, what were you doing last year on this day? Your brain knows. It's in there because it's stored in your long-term memory, but it's so deep in there, like you can't get to it. It's like a maze trying to get to that information. Sometimes, like, listen, bro, I'll be forgetting where I put the remote. Like, bro, sometimes I got my phone in my hand. Yeah, I'm looking for my phone. It's peak. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I did that the other day, man. I'm looking. I'm like, oh shit, man, I left my phone. And then, shit, phone's in my fucking hands, man. I didn't even, you know what I'm saying? But I'm being real. I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't think I'm a Superman. My brain is on the way out. But but that's what I'm saying. Like the Most High is on a. Oh, maybe you forgot. Like he get distracted. Like I just forgot. The Most High's on timing. He's on everything. He's on top of it. He is, man. So you can't think, oh, maybe he might forget about me. Like maybe this. They know maybe, bro. The algorithm is set. You're done. Algorithm's already been done. Like the time and place of your judgment's been set.
Well, that Lord said he spoke it from the beginning. Like, so it's been there. It's just playing out.
Or maybe God didn't see that.
Like the Most High can literally just, he could just go to sleep right now. He could have wanted to, and just have the algorithm play. But it's everything's set in stone already, man. So ain't nothing not gonna happen that he don't want it to happen. Ain't nothing gonna happen, not gonna happen that he wants to happen. It's all gonna happen the way he wants it to happen.
Hey man, when you're dealing with the Most High, you're dealing with fair. This is fair because it's different level, man. The level's too high. Your head will explode even trying to think about it. And that's why it's difficult. Because to comprehend the Most High, it's even difficult for your humanly brain to comprehend that level of power. It's madness. Like, it's just like the level of it, yeah, would just explode your brain trying to even get to like 1% or 0.1% of what power the Most High truly is. To truly understand what you're dealing with.
Power scale.
You can't power scale them all. Your scouts blow up on you, man. Esau thinking he's on levels, like, but that's how they think. These men actually think they're gonna get away with something. In fact, that's one of the teachings in the Church of Satan that who they call Jesus is basically he ain't gonna bother trying to claim Earth, and Satan's gonna get it. Yeah, it's one of them. They're goofy, man. They're goofy. That's what they teach them.
That's some sick one, bro.
Say not thou, I will hide myself from the Lord. Shall any remember me from above? I shall not be remembered among so many people.
Yeah. Like the Most High ain't people. The Most High's got everything recorded, and that's a beautiful thing because man don't know the amount of wickedness that Esau's done to our people. Even the Rasta man, I got for this one time only give the Rasta man them give for this one pause. Yeah, them man say the half has never been told, and it's true. The wickedness that we can only see glimpses of what Esau's been doing. Like even the other day, I found out about this woman in New Orleans or something, and she was doing mad experiments on Jake, man, mutilating. I didn't know nothing about her because what do I know? I'm just a man. You can't possibly know everything. We don't know everything that Esau was doing. Like you can't even possibly have that, but you know who does? The Most High. He knows every single violation that Esau did. From the least violation to the greatest violation. He's got it all recorded. And that means we're gonna have it recorded. Because that's how Yahweh Shai knew that woman had 7 husbands. Because he had access to the spiritual Google. So when we're in the kingdom, we'll be able to look at an Edomite and tap into his spiritual rap sheet. And we're gonna know, oh shit, this guy was murdering and molesting Israelite children.
It's like that fool you recommend to me, when he put his hands on the man, you see everything, all his crimes he's done, man.
He said,
heinous acts.
You didn't think nobody saw this, but God.
Yeah. Judgment came.
Judgment with the axe, man. That's Bill Paxton. He's a hell of an actor too. I was watching him the other day because he's dead now, but he was a hell of an actor in The Day After Tomorrow. He's in that. He plays the sergeant. The tip of the spear, crack of my ass. Like, it's funny because if you look at that film, just segueing on Bill Paxton, because he did a great job in Alien 2. And in Alien 2, he was the grunt, and the sergeant was the one that kept eating him out. But in Edge of Tomorrow, Edge of Tomorrow, he's the sergeant in that. He does a good job. He's a great actor, man, and he's a Jake, no doubt. And even for making that film, the man's a Jake. That's a badass spiritual film. That film, Frailty. If you ain't seen the movie Frailty with Matthew McConaughey, listen, it's a great watch. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but trust me, if you're a spiritual man, you will enjoy that film. Just give it a chance. Don't stop halfway through. Keep it going. Pause. Yeah, go on, man. That's crazy.
For what is my for what is my soul among such an infinite number of creatures?
Yeah.
Behold,
Yeah, like you're insignificant, so the Most High ain't gonna bother with you. No, Most High. Listen, the Most High count every hair. The Most High, there's no information to the Most High that's nothing to him. It's all just information. He knows everything. It's all on the ledger, man.
Most I say care for his elect.
He's on the high chain,
Watching,
not
man.
the blockchain.
You best believe he watching, man.
Everything you did. That's why I said the most. He said what the something word, the idle word that a man, every idle word that a man shall speak, he shall make account thereof. Yeah, even when you're thinking it in your brain, it violate the men of the Lord is recording that. Because even your thoughts are recorded. That's why Esau's trying to record brain waves. The Most High done already knew that. He knows everything you're thinking, because Yahweh Shai did that. He said he knew what them man were thinking. He tapped into their brain waves and like, yeah, I know what you man.
Words not spoken.
He saw no one, man. He ain't got no nothing. Besides tapping into brain waves for a long time. He saw you. That's what I'm saying. He saw, if you know what you're dealing with, man, he saw spot. You don't know what time. He ain't ready for the algorithm. The masters of the algorithms, man. Jeez. God, hey, after this, we close up.
behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens, the deep and the earth, and all that and all that therein is, shall be moved when he shall visit.
Yeah, when the Lord actually makes his apparent, we can't even really describe it. It's gonna be a different thing. The whole foundation of creation and everything is gonna experience vibrationals, these frequencies that's unheard of, man. It's gonna be
power and
grand.
great glory.
It's not gonna be no normal thing when the Lord turns up, and you can't make a movie because you're gonna have to be
He's not
there.
gonna do it justice. Yeah.
It's gonna be a madness because this is a great event, and the Lord is gonna do something. You just see, he said everything's gonna be moving, fam. It's gonna be different kind of. Hey, listen, Esau ain't on that level, man. Esau is not on that level. Esau can't make an entrance.
That's why Scripture speaks about as things as like I've never been before. It's the level of the event is going to be has never been experienced before on the planet. You know,
Glorious, man.
The mountain also and the foundation of the earth shall be shaken with trembling when the Lord looketh upon them.
Yeah, that's
just
right.
a look.
Just the Lord come and you go
Just his
violate
presence,
Esau. Then all that pride start oozing. That's when reality is gonna kick in. It's like, yo, we was signing up checks that we can't cash, man. What was we thinking? Yeah, what was you thinking? But that pride, boy, it leads you into a terrible place, man.
Feel very vulnerable, very mortal.
That's what pride will always lead you to a place you shouldn't be. I'm telling you, it's a fact. Arrogance and pride will always lead a man or woman into a scenario that if they had any humility, would never have got themselves in. Because they would have known, like, nah, that's not for me.
Well, it's good to say
Can't
pride is not made for man.
Pride wasn't made for man, man. You gotta humble yourself, you know? Hey, it happens all the time in the ends, man. Man think they're bad and they end up in a place and get fucked up. It's like, brother, if you were humble, you wouldn't even have gone there. But you thought you were too bad. And now look, you're done, innit? You should have humbled yourself and realized that there's bad man over there too. Maybe I shouldn't go. Maybe I should hold it down over here.
I'm trying to compete with them, man.
But now you want to go over there and flex. And but I know a man like that. It's like, I say to man, no, brother, you know what? You shouldn't really be wearing that watch. Yeah, but who's gonna take it, fam? You know what I mean? Like pride
The man's on the camera phone.
And then,
You know what you're saying?
but if a
Nonsense.
man come and like bleeding you out for it, now in that moment when you're bleeding out, you'd be like, "Raw, maybe I could have avoided this by not wearing this watch." The arrogance, you know, arrogance is always there. Ready, the most I got the algorithm ready to take you. So anyway, we're gonna close up. The brother's got to go plantation.
Hello, yeah, how old Hashem, Shai, Hashem, Dash.
Couple honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone. All the two brothers out there in the highways and the byways.
Wow,
So,
shalom.